Hi, guys. Welcome back to our podcast that is called Straw Hat Crusaders. And today on the podcast, I'm Adriana. And to my left is...
Clayton Chalman.
And to his left is...
Josh.
And to his left is...
Hayden Hartrick.
And then I'm me.
Wow.
And... wow.
Damn.
And this podcast is about one person who loves One Piece and three people who love JoJo, and we switch them around, and and the three people read the One Piece, and the one person watches the JoJo, and then we fall in love.
It's a polycule.
Yeah.
What? Someone doesn't know. I've been told.
Newsflash, asshole. So, yeah, how is everyone doing today?
I'm doing swell.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I worked out today for the first time in 8 years. That's not true.
Wow.
In the first time in too long.
Yeah.
And it has me feeling good.
Fuck yeah.
Really? I never feel good after like the first time working out in a while. It's like, I don't know, but that's good that you did.
Yes.
What did you do?
I just did a lot of... I got very used to having a gym in my apartment, and now we live in a house, and I don't have a gym. So I was doing a lot of just like at-home stuff, push-ups, sit-ups, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did some shadow boxing. I have some little dumbbells up there. But yeah.
Sick.
Fuck yeah. Dude.
Clayton's training so that he
I'm
can beat us all up. When
He can pick
Yeah.
up a camel and
Yeah.
Whip it
Yeah.
on his katana.
So that I
Curl a
can do
hamel.
what I need to do if y'all don't like One Piece.
No, that literally for our MMA fight that we have scheduled for the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
for
It's a 3-on-1.
Clash 5.
Yeah.
It's kind of a 3-on-1.
I'm not scared.
Yeah. I'm having a good week, actually. I've had a very good week. Having a great time just enjoying autumn. I fucking love autumn. It's the best season.
Josh met a
Really?
girl.
No. No. I love the fall time, also known as autumn. I don't love girls.
Whoa.
Stinky.
Yeah.
Misogynist Josh arc.
I respect girls. I don't love girls. Anyway, cut that out.
Gay Josh arc?
So, yeah, I'm having a good week. I'm enjoying now that when we do this podcast, sometimes it's already dark.
Yes.
It's already dark outside.
Yeah.
The night is
so
out.
great outside too.
It feels amazing.
The
We just
weather's
had an
great right
eclipse.
now.
For everyone who is, wants to know when this takes place. Huh?
Huh?
We just laughed. We just
Oh.
laughed.
Sorry. If everyone wants to know how far behind we are uploading this podcast, a solar eclipse just happened.
Just tell them today's date.
It is
It is
Sunday, October
Sunday,
15th, 2023.
blah.
The other
Yeah.
day we had a solar eclipse, and we watched it with our bare naked eyes. So that's why this will continue to be an audio-only podcast.
I was going to say.
Because we are all our eyes hurt a little bit after that. Yeah.
Do you feel more powerful during the eclipse?
Because you're no, that's the opposite. Sorry, I was... Never mind.
What were you
I
going
was
to
going to
say?
say because you're a firebender.
But they lose their
They
power.
lose
That
their
was
bending.
the solstice I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I do feel more powerful during the eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Because I'm
waterbenders
Jewish.
get more powerful during the eclipse?
You know, I think so.
I
I thought they got
Yeah,
more powerful
but
during a full moon.
A full
they don't.
moon, yes.
The full eclipse the eclipse does not affect a waterbender. If anything,
No, yeah,
an
I don't
eclipse is
think they
technically
mentioned
a
it.
new moon. So like that's the opposite of a full moon.
What makes
True.
what makes the earthbenders powerful?
Hold on.
Drink grass.
Podcast stopped. No, it didn't. I'm going to cut that out.
Great.
We're
Woohoo.
back.
If anything,
Earth. What makes earthbenders?
What
more
makes
powerful?
Earthbender?
Do they have
Protein
like,
is
like,
powder.
is it like Groundhog Day? Is it like
Yeah,
when the groundhog pops
Ground-
up? If they see a shadow, they get 10% more
Groundhog
powerful.
Day.
Yes. Well, there's literally also Earth Day.
There is
on
Earth.
Earth Day.
These are
what?
man-made constructs, though. These holidays.
when Earth Day, when everyone recycles a little more, then they get stronger.
Every time somebody puts a piece of a Pepsi can in the recycling bin,
Yep.
an earthbender
Yeah.
can then move a mountain.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then airbenders, well, they've been having a rough one. Hayden, how you been?
Unlike Josh, I love girls, and I almost did 18 hours straight of hard work for a girl today.
Oh no.
And by a girl, I mean
Baldur's Gate?
a video game
Oh my
character.
God.
What the today?
His video game girlfriend broke up with him, and he almost deleted his whole game.
Are you serious?
Wait,
Yeah,
you fucked up an interaction, and then you were like,
No.
I gotta start over.
So what happened is my
Fuck it, we gotta go bald.
my girlfriend, my video game girlfriend, Carlac, because she's the best option, and everybody else can fight me in the comments because Carlac is the best character in the game. My
Leave us
first
a 5-star
run-through-
review if you would disagree. If you agree, leave us a 5-star review.
But I was ending the second act of the game, and I also had a little fling going on with another person in my party. Right? You can fuck multiple people. Polyamory is a part of the game. All right.
Just
But
like it's a
for
part of life.
whatever reason, during my entirety of Act 2, her romance scene never triggered. Like, I got to kiss her, and she said, we're going to fuck tonight, and then we didn't fuck tonight because something else happened. And at the end of the act, when I was, like, moving on to the next area of the game, she came up, I, like, talked to her, and she was just like, yeah, we kind of had a little fling going for a while, but it kind of died out, so we're nothing anymore.
That's like a friend telling you, yeah, I used to have a crush on you,
Yeah,
like about a year ago.
100%. And I've been in that situation in real life too many times, and I fucking hated that so much. And I was like, this is awful. So I was going back, and the last save I found that I 100% could guarantee that I could basically restart her romance line and make sure everything was gone would have lost me 18 hours worth of gameplay.
Wow.
But it's all okay because true love wins in the end. And I found a save that was only 4 hours old. And then I broke up with the other person. I said, I don't want to fuck you anymore.
Monogamy wins in the end.
And then
Ugh.
after I did that, I went to camp, and Carlac said, hey, I'm going to come fuck you tonight. So
My mom is listening to this podcast.
yeah. Hi, Josh's mom. Who did you want to romance in Baldur's Gate 3?
My mom is a strong, independent woman.
Okay.
Okay, so
There's nothing worse than when you're hanging out with somebody and talking to somebody, and then their romance scene doesn't trigger.
Yeah. hate
That drives
that.
me crazy.
I've been there. So yeah, I almost did a lot of awful things to a lot of awful people, but then I
Oh no.
then I
You saved it.
found true love.
Oh, hell yeah.
How are you doing?
Great. I had a busy weekend, but it was fun. Friday I went to a DIY show, and there was blood wrestling there. That was pretty cool.
What does that mean?
They fill a kiddie pool with fake blood, and then people wrestle in it.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's cool.
I think Clayton and I are going to do that after
there-
this podcast.
Yeah, it was
is
pretty
recorded.
awesome.
Was there chips and dip at this party, too?
What? Why would there be chips and dip?
It's a
Explain the
party.
joke.
Ooh.
Oh,
Dip the
Yeah.
chip- Yep. Okay, Clayton had an idea of what I was talking about.
no, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun. Two of the guys were like super evenly matched. Anyway, one of them had a Joestar birthmark tattoo.
What?
Yeah,
You didn't tell me.
Oh yeah, well, there's so much I have. I just like that was one of the things I forgot. But yeah, I was like, man, I swear it's all like every time you see one of those people with one of those tattoos, it's like they're just epic. It's great. No exceptions. Yeah, and then Saturday I came over here and watched the eclipse with all my friends, and then I went to see my other friends and we carved some pumpkins. So yeah, pretty fun weekend.
Fuck, I love October so
Yeah, it's been a really great October. It's been
we
really
made our playlist,
festive.
our October playlist.
Oh, shit.
Me and Josh, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about what you were talking about, real quick, how often has it? What's the ratio of times where someone says, "Oh yeah, I had a crush on you a while ago." What's the ratio of you've been happy that you didn't find out till now versus you are pissed that you didn't find out till now?
like
happy.
50-50 usually.
I think
Yeah.
I'm also 50-50 with that.
Yeah, I think I'm also I mean, maybe more like
You're 90-10, yeah.
yeah. I might be a little bit more into the bummed side of things. 'Cause
Well, it's like, because even if you might not have reciprocated, it's still like, oh, but what if? And
Yeah.
that'll bug you for forever.
yeah.
I also just like, even if there's no chance I was going to be interested in this person,
Yeah.
I just like knowing
Oh,
if somebody has a
absolutely.
crush
yeah.
on
I
me.
want to know.
Absolutely.
Tell me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually,
It is very funny. I do love that because it does like immediately you're always just like, cool. Well, you're saying that because there's never a chance that something is going to happen.
You're saying that because the
Not
door has
exactly.
closed.
that is not.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say that to kind of keep the door ajar.
Yeah.
I think. I don't,
Yeah,
I
sometimes
don't
it's
know.
like, I used to have such a crush on you, but that's so silly, right?
It's a charged statement, but it has plausible deniability, so
Yeah.
it takes off a lot of pressure of you. But at the same time, it's like it's a little cheeky.
So Adriana, basically, you've done this to someone. You have told. That's what I'm getting at.
Do you have something to tell all of us at this table?
You guys, like 2 weeks ago, so long ago. It's not. No, I can't remember. Like, I can't remember. I probably have, but I can't remember anyone that I have done that to. Specifically.
It makes it because it's like, hey, I'm not doing anything right now, but you should
Right.
think about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
Adriana would never admit that they had a crush on anyone. I have first-hand experience.
I heard that you
They'd
said
rather
I don't
kill
do
them
that. I don't do
before.
that.
What did
Yeah.
you say, Clayton?
nothing. I said I heard they used to have a crush on you, Josh. We should probably talk about JoJo's
Yeah.
Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah.
Clayton, you watched it this week.
I
which
watched
is
3 episodes.
crazy.
Here's what I'll
You
say:
watched 3 episodes?
3 battles,
Yes.
6 episodes.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I got
Oh,
very
yeah.
close to watching 3 episodes because halfway through I was like,
Yeah. The third episode was the first episode of the Alessi arc. For those of you who don't
we
know.
get your thoughts on this.
yeah, what happens before we get my thoughts on this?
I think that is it fair to say that how my can I ask?
Ask.
Before we get to your thoughts on this, I need to get your thoughts on this.
Sure.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that the expectations I set for you were pretty accurate?
That this was going to be the one of the worst things yet?
No, for all 6 episodes, but or mainly for the last 4.
Sure, I think so. The Alessi thing, I think, honestly, I prefer stuff like Alessi to the 5 episodes in the middle of part 1.
Yeah.
I can just
yeah.
barely disagree with you there. I really would have. Okay, before I rewatched Alessi with you, I would have agreed with that. After rewatching it again, I literally can't do it again. I don't think I have one more in me. I think if I
No.
do, I think my soul gets sucked out of my body if I watch those 2 again.
I think it's sandwiched in between some really actually interesting stuff though. Like when he first starts turning into a kid, you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
whoa, crazy. And then at the end when Jotaro turns into
Yeah.
it, it's like, oh, it was all worth it. When
Yeah,
it's just to see
that payoff is good.
But yeah, that didn't.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. You have no choice.
Trouble in paradise. Oh.
The in the middle stuff is an abomination.
I think that before we get to that, though, I kind of want to. I just want to. Can I get your thoughts on the Mariah arc?
Fine. Fun.
Quirky
Yeah.
Abdul Joseph moments.
I liked when
Yeah.
they were having sex.
They straight up kind of did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I took
Yeah.
screenshots and I pretended about something else.
Well, okay.
Josh believed you. He's taking you
Josh
100%
is so
serious.
flustered.
I think
right
it's
now.
important to note there. I feel like I'm not letting you talk enough on this podcast.
I was so done talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that you were wishing that after we did, I think Alessi, you were saying like, I wish that we had a few serious stands. We had a couple serious stands come up when they got to Egypt, but so far it's been a lot of goofs. How do you feel? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, I was in a place I really needed there to be like a stand user similar to in Duel, who was like somebody who shows up and you're like, okay, this is like an actual threat. And I didn't really feel like I had gotten that. We kind of got it as well with the Hanged Man, and it's seemingly the other shoe dropped with Darby a little bit.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I like to think that Araki had at this point been writing JoJo for I think about 3 to 4 years, and he was like, okay, I've fucked around. I've played in my little sandbox and just done fuck all. But I'm about to get serious. I'm about to start dropping heat. But before I do that, I need to give my fans one final trial. One last barrier that will weed out the fake fans from the true Bazenture heads.
It's like Bible interpretation. Like anyone who criticizes the Alessi arc, it's like it's God's plan.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
was a test.
This was a test
to test your faith in Him.
Yes, and you are rewarded for those who stand, for those who not only love JoJo, who not only crave adventure, but for those who appreciate the bizarre. Okay,
For those who stand proud.
those who stand proud with a bloody stream of pride. Bloody Stream is the name of the second opening.
Yeah.
Sonochino Sadame is the.
Those are words.
Anyway, for those who make it beyond, they get to.
Yeah, this really feels like Bible interpretation.
If you get through the Alessi arc, you make it to the afterlife.
Yeah, you
That's
get
actually-
into heaven.
Yeah, you get
I'm
to
not-
heaven.
Saint Peter is standing there. And
I'm
he's
not
like,
gonna
"Watch
tell
this."
Oh, Chris Martin, thanks for coming on to the podcast.
Who?
Coldplay guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't think any of us here are going to tell you that Alessi is the last, like, dud
Last
arc.
WTF moment.
Yeah, of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But it's definitely, I don't think there's anything post Alessi that is anywhere near as, like, bad.
There's nothing that makes you want to peel your skin off after this arc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is good news. Alessi was rough. Alessi was hard to get to.
Was your trust like broken? Like are you
You okay?
Yeah, are you okay?
Y'all set me up for it really hard.
Yeah,
and so I was
we did.
expecting something. Honestly, I was expecting things to maybe be even a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Good.
That's yeah.
And this was really bad. There was a lot that I did not like about
what?
this. I would love to start with Mariah because I feel like I don't
Okay.
have a whole lot to say about her.
Yeah.
Mariah is very pretty, and her stand is an outlet, and that is pretty cool.
Literally, we watched the episodes together, and Joseph saw the outlet, and Clayton literally said, like, what if the outlet was a stand?
You just haven't learned your lesson from High Priest.
Like, how silly would that be? I don't know if you were serious or if you were, like, joking that you knew it was a stand.
I
but-
was kind of half messing around. I
Yeah.
assumed that the outlet was due to a stand. I did not think that the outlet itself was a stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did all it had to do.
Yep. But this episode was pretty fun. There were bits that I liked and bits that I didn't. It was kind of a Joseph fight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love my man Joseph. He is always rocking it, and he did pretty good in this one. Him and Avdol getting up to some little shenanigans, getting tied together, getting their face in each other's business. That was nice.
Yep.
Was this the one that was when he was like, "Help me! Oh my god!" Was that
Yeah.
It's like so genuinely desperate, that one.
We don't know how.
Oh my god, help
It
me!
feels like they were staging it. They were blocking it like in the recording booth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to the voice talent. Shout out to the I forget his name, but the wonderful voice actor who voices old Joseph, rest in peace. He did pass
Aw.
away a few years ago. Very
That's so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that stuff with them. I also think, especially with Joseph, like you always want that, like the ending to be like a clever thing where it's like, oh, of course that's how it happens, and it totally was.
Yeah.
They trapped her in the middle of these two magnets. That whole thing at the end where he's like, all right, I'm gonna ask one more time, please just let us go, and she's like, it's not happening. And he's like, then you already fucking lost. You already lost. And then they smash her together, and she gets crushed to death by big cars.
I'm glad that I'm like noticing that you are like latching on to the part 2 Joseph's character, and that had enough of an impact on you that you're still appreciating it in part 3.
Yeah, he's the strategy, and that's why when I watched part 2, I had an expectation. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like any JoJo as much as Joseph, and I don't think that's necessarily true, but I really, really appreciate Joseph because I love, and it's the same reason that Kakyoin's my favorite character. I love the smart guys. I love the clever thinking. I love the little tacticians.
I'm so excited.
Ooh,
okay.
that gets me excited. Joseph is awesome, and he did smart things, and he killed Mariah.
Killed her.
She's
dead.
retired.
He killed her in the head.
Josh, weren't you watching? She got crushed between two
every
pieces of
bone. I think it said every bone in her body was broken.
That's not
I've survived the worst.
Did you guys know that the majority of your bones are in your hands and feet?
Yeah.
Well, like combined, they're in your hands and feet.
Yeah.
Or like just in your hands. There's that. Well, no, that would make sense. Yeah.
The majority of my bones are in my right hand.
There ain't nothing left anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slay. Anyway.
But that was fun. Pass on Mariah's outlet stand.
Unless.
Have you still been keeping your ranking of all your stands?
Oh golly, I haven't done it for this one. I'll update the list in a little bit. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time doing that on the podcast, but I'll say that this stand, I think this is such a fun power. This is probably towards the middle of my list somewhere. Bastet, yeah. This next stand, honestly, the stand would be pretty. It might be. Probably towards the middle because I like it. I love the shadow with eyes.
Also
so cool.
love the
That's
shadow
so
with
good.
eyes.
Why don't we see more of him?
Yeah.
But yeah, Alessi fucking sucked.
So bad.
It was. There's just so many things wrong with this episode that I don't even know where to start. Alessi, the main villain, being coded to be somewhat of a predator. Not fun, not cool. Polnareff, again, acting like a predator himself. That is also not awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of honestly, baby Polnareff, I like to look at. He's cute. He makes a reference earlier in the series to Tom and Jerry. He kind of looks like a little mouse when he's a baby. So that's fun. There's the long shot where he's like running and it's slowly getting shorter.
Right.
That was fun. That was cute.
Yeah.
Polnareff, at first I enjoyed the introduction of this woman as like, oh look, this kind person is taking a liking to this child and is caring for them. And she clearly has such a big heart. And because of that, she is getting put in danger. And now we have to worry about her getting hurt because of the kindness she gave to Polnareff. That's compelling. I wish he didn't do that other stuff to her. It just felt nasty and gross, and I don't like it.
For like so unnecessary. It makes you wonder like why they included it and so much of it at that. Like,
why did they adapt
like
this
what,
into 2 episodes? They could have.
Well, yeah,
like, there's a time to cut episodes.
And also, why did like the bathing stuff go on for so long? Like who did they think would enjoy watching that? You
Little
know,
boys,
or
I
like
guess, reading it.
like
I don't know. I don't know,
so
man.
Weird.
I don't fucking know. No, go ahead.
There's a little bit of a tangent for a second, but it's interesting talking about this because you've talked a lot about how sometimes it's hard to be a Sanji fan.
Yeah.
Because of what he does every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it together until but it's like that's kind of how I feel about like Polnareff. Is like Polnareff is one of my favorite Part 3 characters. Then he has moments like this, and it's just like, fuck you, stop doing it, you know?
Well, he does get like it was more of a, I feel like this was again kind of like with Sanji. This was a fault of like this isn't really like him getting in a situation where he's being cared for by a woman and then ends up like kind of being smothered in her breasts and having his dick wiped in a bathing scene. It's not even he didn't even have agency to do that. He was just reacting like a little pervert. But it's like it was like Araki is doing this because I don't know.
It's in the same category of tone deaf fan service.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in the weirdest fucking way. Like in the weird just I don't know. Just so weird. And then of course this poor woman becomes a fetus.
Yes. The fetus thing, honestly, that didn't. It was really upsetting at first, but I think that's kind of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It did not fuck with me too bad. I'm not that mad about that.
I'm pretty mad about it.
Especially because like that's like right along, with she's getting put in danger, and now she's a little fetus that has to be carried around, and that's not good. You don't want to be a fetus for long.
You do not.
And it makes sense for the power.
It pushes it to the extreme. Yeah.
That part doesn't bother me too much.
Say one good thing about Alessi right now.
I like that I think it's funny that he got beat up by a little kid.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we talk about 7-year-old Jotaro? Well, no, Hayden, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I still think it always shocks me. So I think I brought this up before on the podcast, but Alessi made the cut for the like arcade cabinet JoJo fighter, which is an insane thing to put into that thing because he's like it's just like God. What the fuck? Why is he in the game? You know, it's like you could have cooler characters like Darby as a fighting game character. I know he's not a fighter, but
but neither is Alessi. He wimps out every time. Yeah.
However, that game does the best thing possible with Alessi that fans have been talking about for years. Here's what's really terrible about Alessi is that it had the potential to be one of the funnest arcs in JoJo. Trade Polnareff for Joseph. Get Part 2 Joseph in this arc because he gets de-aged to his younger self.
When someone made that concept clear to me, I was like, "Oh,
I know." Imagine
that would have been so good.
The stand set hits all the Stardust Crusaders, and now you have young Joseph, who we remember from Part 2, looking after a bunch of toddler Crusaders.
I've seen fan art of that.
It would have been amazing.
I also think I might even prefer this. Young Joseph, he doesn't get turned into young Joseph. He gets turned into baby Joseph. But Joseph, he's like the tactician. And then we just do Home Alone as a stand battle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Home
my
Alone,
God.
but Kevin has fucking omnisciency. He's got like the power of divination. I think that would be awesome.
That would have been awesome.
That's so great.
Instead, we get a very interesting fight with a fish bowl.
Yeah.
And I always forget how it goes because I kind of block it out of my memory.
Araki loves mirrors.
He does.
He thinks those are so cool.
He does. You're so right.
You don't even know. It's not even the end of it.
You don't even know. I'm actually trying to think of more battles later with mirrors.
But then Jotaro.
Oh my God! I just remembered.
He gets turned into a kid, and it's like, oh no! And then of course, Kid Jotaro is still strong enough to kick Alessi's ass
without a stand.
Jotaro has a 6-pack as a child, surely.
Yeah. Which is funny because it shows like an old picture of him in middle school where he's like happy and nice, I guess. But so I guess it was like a bell curve or something, where he was like a emo like elementary school kid, and then like his life got great, and then he went back to his true nature.
His nice thing, like being nice, was a phase.
For him. His tween phase was being nice.
Well, that's just Holly remembering him, the idealized.
No, there was a picture of him smiling.
He actually he just smiled for that picture. He was still a
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he was a meanie.
Punched the
He
camera.
came out of the womb like.
He's a meanie bobini, dude.
Yeah.
And Les sees that firsthand. To be honest, the end of this fight, I remember when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that was so funny that was almost worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I still sort of feel that way, but it's definitely worth one watch for that twist ending.
I don't think it's even close to being worth it.
Okay.
I mean, I just think
I wouldn't take that deal if you know what I mean. But it
No.
made it better.
it definitely makes
Yeah.
it better. Like it is nice. Like that ending is kind of only made funnier by how awful the rest of the episodes are. But it's like it feels like Iraqi just being like, sorry. Sorry, I did that. Here's a little bit of Jotaro being cool.
Pretty funny because Iggy doesn't do anything for both of these fights that happen
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
Any of the three of these fights,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well he couldn't have done anything for this last one. Honestly.
Yeah.
he's probably pretty good at Texas Hold'em.
He could probably do 21.
Probably.
What-
Which speaking of the beginning of the Darby arc is the mood is definitely like, I don't know. I just feel like it works going it. Like they just went through all that shit.
Uh-huh.
And so when they go up to the bar, they're just like, just give us some fucking iced tea.
Yeah.
And answer our one question.
Yeah.
It's just we just need to know where one thing is.
Right.
They know now. They know now that the specific location where Dio is. They just don't know where on the map it is. They have a picture
They
of
have
a mansion.
picture of a
Just,
building.
like, go to
Yes.
Google Maps, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously.
reverse
The
image.
Show it
search
to
your
one of
girl.
those GeoGuessr streamers.
Oh my god, yeah.
In 1989.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, funny enough, like one of those, the majority of those I've seen have been videos of them like recognizing somewhere in Italy that has where a JoJo fight happened, and that's how they recognized it. It's so funny. Anyway,
Yeah. But Darby.
yeah, Darby.
Darby the Gambler. This was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. Everything about this episode was so cool from the get-go. Them walking in, they're all sad about the baby stuff. It feels like it's like the tone is set. It's
Yeah.
like it's fucking time. They are in Cairo and nobody is fucking around anymore. There's not going to be a single another joke for the rest of the whole part. Darby is awesome. It
Yeah.
just feels like, because it's such a fun stand,
Mm-hmm.
and then to have it finally with somebody who's like super competent and imposing. Within the first couple minutes, Polnareff and Joseph are both like gone. Such a good time. I'm glad I watched it with y'all as well. It was fun to watch with everybody.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
So nice rewatching it too. It's because I forgot like how well paced that whole arc
It is,
Yeah.
and it's a Jotaro slay moment for sure. Like
yeah.
like
Absolutely.
one of my favorite episodes, like favorite Jotaro centric. He's my one. I enjoy him. What is, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, this is one
not
of your...
I enjoy him the most in this episode, but one of the episodes where I enjoy him about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
a
a
lot.
great Jotaro episode for
Yeah,
you.
great Jotaro
Absolutely.
episode.
The whole crew kind of, Polnareff goes ahead and kind of like seals their deal by losing a bet immediately without thinking about the consequences. And
Uh-huh.
then,
How could they
Which
have
is very Polnareff.
known that
Very
he was a
Polnareff.
stand user. He was only a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It had robot sideburns.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also the thing that I enjoyed the most about this is when we got It's a Gambler, I was like, okay, does he have a stand that lets him
Lets him
like
cheat.
do gambling stuff?
Uh-huh.
But no, Darby has to be legitimately like very smart and very good at this, and he has to be prepared. It's so fun to watch. The Crusaders have to really think as well as Darby. There's moments even early on in the bet with Joseph where Darby's like sweating.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's really working it out, and every move that Darby makes a lot of sense. Where it's like, damn, he did do that. We saw him like fidgeting with the glass and setting it down,
Yeah.
and then moving out of his chair. Like they give us all of that, only
Yeah.
to reveal that he was letting the sun in to melt the chocolate to make the glass shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's good
Especially
stuff.
because it's like using Jotaro, like knowing Jotaro is going to like catch things. Like obviously that puts us as the audience in a state of ease where we're not paying as close attention to Darby's moves, but it also like I think it's really fun because it puts Darby in a position where like not only do you have to cheat, but you have to cheat creatively in ways that
you won't get found
can't
out.
be noticed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And,
Yep.
and you know what? Like his stand doesn't technically alter any of the bets. Like in his that doesn't change the odds in his favor. But I would argue that the way that he gets those souls was he takes one and then the other people try to win it back, and that initial thing happening where they see that someone's actual soul was being stolen really sets them into like the most vulnerable position ever,
Yeah.
and gives him psychologically the upper hand for
Yep.
the rest
Yep.
of the bets.
Because he is a gambler, and he's
Yeah.
essentially using the sunk cost fallacy to be like,
yeah,
Yep.
you already got money lost. You might as well win it back.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
He came at the right time when they needed information and couldn't just beat his ass immediately. But they don't get shit from him. They don't get any info from him. All
No.
they do is get more trauma.
Yep.
Good Joseph moments. The first episode really
Yeah.
is Joseph centric.
Yeah.
That's the thing is when this started happening, I was like, this feels like it's right up Joseph's alley. And it is. I'm glad because I knew that this was going to be a Jotaro thing. I think I could kind of tell.
Yeah.
But it really did not feel like they did Joseph dirty at all. It
He
felt like
pulled his
they
weight.
really... Yeah. He was really smart. He did everything right, but Darby was just a little bit better at this.
And I feel like it was also like a good like thematically like representing like a passing of the torch between how the old JoJo did things and then
Yep.
how the new JoJo does things.
Absolutely.
I think it's also really interesting in Joseph's way of fighting that, right? Where it's like him failing because he's only focusing on him outsmarting the other person, which is how he's like kind of gotten by on everything. And because he's never really had to fight against someone who is also outsmarting him on the same wavelength. And so I think that it's always fun that he capitalized on that. And
Yeah.
Jotaro just fucking didn't play the game. And that's
Yeah.
how you beat that,
Yes,
you know?
which I found out. I saw a clip just come up on my feed of a movie. I don't know what movie it was, but that might have inspired this scene because if it was a bunch of guys at a poker table, and one of the guys wasn't looking at his card, and the other one's like, "Aren't you gonna look at your card?" And he was like freaking out like that he wasn't. So I have to see it, but it might have been inspired by like some Western movie or something,
That
which
would
isn't
make sense.
surprising.
That
Yeah.
would make sense.
Yep.
I do think that, again, the pacing's really good with these episodes. Again, I love your point that you made about old Joseph to new Joseph strategy, because they're finally dealing with a tricky guy, a guy as tricky and with the upper hand of already being a gambler, so that Joseph is going to be, have the lower hand here. And when we get to the end of that episode, and Jotaro was like, "All right, motherfucker, get your poker chips out." Clayton had a audible reaction. To that.
I was
Yeah.
so excited about it.
I wish I would have been there.
Yeah, he was like, "All right, Darby, let's play poker," and I was like, "Yeah."
I think it's super impressive how it did not need too much stand ability use. We've
No.
been getting a lot of punchy
True.
these last few episodes, a lot of slashy, with our stands here. But this was one where it was a battle of the minds. And I think it's crazy how Araki really was, I guess, just sick of what he'd been doing and was like, I kind of miss the mind games of, I guess, like part 2. And really that's what Jotaro is about. Jotaro is all about intimidation. His will is iron. He has nerves of steel. That's what sets him apart. And the second episode really seals that deal. For this.
I also like that because Jotaro's gamble would have theoretically worked if he didn't need to leave the cards face down for that to work so much.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have been able to keep a straight face if he looked at the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's such a good explanation. Him being at the end like,
Yeah.
ooh, yeah, those are shit. It is a good thing I did not look at them.
Well, also
Right.
it really he kind of uses what I love about this episode so much is that Jotaro uses the idea of his ability against Darby.
Right, 'cause
He
he
doesn't
knows he
even
could
Star
cheat.
Platinum's super fast and super like
when he lights the cigarette.
when he lights the cigarette super fast and
Yeah.
grabs a drink out of nowhere.
The little when
So
he
good.
looks up, because we don't see the drink come out of anywhere. He just looks up, and Jotaro's got a little like blue mermaid cocktail. It's so good. Also, that's not Jotaro's drink of choice. There's no way that little
See it.
You
I
never
see
know.
it.
his little
Come
blue
on.
drink
He
with
likes
an
a
orange
little-
slice.
What I'm thinking
Yeah.
is he didn't have time.
He likes straight
probably
whiskey
just-
filled to
He
the
stole it
brim.
from the table
Yeah,
next to him.
I-
His stand doesn't have the range to go all the way and
Yeah.
go and shake up a
If you
know
look in the
Right.
background of the
drink.
shot,
Somebody
you
being
can
like, "What
see
the fuck?"
Star
You're
Platinum
right.
like
He-
standing at the bar waving a 20, trying to get the bartender's attention.
yeah, Star Platinum didn't get a new drink. He totally stole that from someone's table.
Uh-huh.
He didn't have time to go pour himself an apple juice.
No, he
So-
didn't. But yeah, he uses the idea of his stand against Darby. Darby doesn't know how capable Jotaro truly is, and Jotaro cannot even be bothered to show an inch of
Yeah.
insecurity. So the idea that he doesn't even need to look at his cards. The Star Platinum already knows all the cards already, as well as Darby does. Is I just think a brilliant move.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's not only the progression of the JoJo's strategies, but also it kind of solidifies or it introduces and solidifies the introduction of the how the battles are in part 3 compared to part 2 as well. You know,
And-
Yeah.
like more strategic and
Fuck
They
stuff.
become the battles going forward, I think, highlight this kind of setup and structure. And so I think you're going to like a lot of battles going forward. I think
Yeah.
up to this point in the series, this is my favorite battle.
Fuck yeah. Mine as
He
well,
was the
definitely.
MVP.
so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
And I got to say, before we move on from JoJo, just as you guys know, Jotaro's my guy.
Yeah.
Jotaro's my favorite.
Yeah.
And he has some moments in these episodes that are just so awesome. Everything from him like secretly judging Joseph for cheating after Joseph's like, hey, watch this guy for cheating. And then just like breaking Darby's finger when he tries to switch the cards.
That was
Yeah.
badass.
So fucking awesome. And then he's like, actually, that would be my card. And he uses Star Platinum to pick the card up. And I just remember me and Hayden both audibly going, yeah, just like losing our mind. Because I'd forgotten that little. Just there's so many little moments. And they did a really good job adapting.
He's
Yeah.
epic in that episode for
He
is.
really is epic,
Yeah.
and he slays, and he's
He has the slay
Queen.
button.
He is Slay Queen Boots.
Yeah. Also, the one last thing, he bets Kakyoin's and Abdal's and his mother's soul.
yeah.
I just
He was
fucking
just
good.
so sure that it would work.
Or I mean, if they lost there, I mean, they were all gonna die anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
his mom
Yeah.
was gonna die.
And you know what? This is what I think defines Jotaro and the ultimate theme of part 3 being like, where does your composure come from? Where does your courage come from? And that if you look at part 3 through that lens, it really shifts. It shifted for me, and this was something that like highlighted that where Jotaro can't afford to lose, so he never will. You know what I mean? His mom's life is on the line.
Yeah.
His courage comes from love.
True.
That's the theme. Bam.
Okay.
Fuck you. That is part 3.
Yeah.
and
Yay.
yeah, this was a great episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited. In the transitional period, I saw the title of the next episode
Which
on
is
accident,
what again?
which is Whole Horse and Boing.
Oh my
Which
god.
you
Yeah.
I can't believe he
You
called
fucking
that.
called it.
He
Y'all,
did call that.
I kind of had it in my mind because I said that, and y'all like
Yeah.
looked at each other,
Yes.
and I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm
I
so
knew we
excited.
gave it away
Yeah.
when we said that, but it was just we couldn't believe you guessed it.
Enjoy it. We're going to set expectations later, but I think...
It's gonna be the best episode yet.
I don't know. I actually really don't think you're going to feel that way, but I think you're probably going to like it.
You're trying to undersell me. He was trying to do it with this episode as well. Everybody, should
get
we
to
go
that
ahead
later.
and talk about some One Piece?
I'd love to.
Queen.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
Wow.
What
Okay.
happened?
I did.
Huh?
What?
We got a pretty cool.
Did Lucy Ricardo's husband just walk in?
What?
Ricky Ricardo.
Man.
All the boomers in our audience are gonna.
Wow.
My
go
mom's gonna
wild.
love that.
Go wild.
You
This
sounded-
podcast is actually just for Josh's. That's our target audience right now.
It
Hey,
kinda is
Hayden.
now.
You've got some splaining
You
to do.
Yeah, I do.
really do.
Did y'all know he didn't actually? What happened in One Piece?
We got a little bit of, I don't know, I felt a little bit of nostalgia reading this because it was a simple 2-volume little arc. It was all pretty, I mean, it's a transitional arc. I mean, I feel like we were very obviously between 2 very large arcs.
Yeah.
And we got a nice little thing back to Luffy and the gang just kind of being fucking awesome. And I loved it. I
Yeah,
loved
it
a lot
was
of it.
right after they left Alabasta, right?
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
it was so cute when I'm glad they like addressed it. They didn't just immediately move on. They had like a moment where they're like, "We miss Vivi so much." And I was like, "Yeah, that's so sweet."
We get
Except Zoro.
Nico
Nico fucking
Nico
Robin,
Robin
you guys.
Yeah.
pops up on their ship.
You guys.
Did you know that was gonna happen?
I mean, I knew that Nico Robin was like
around?
A straw hat?
a person. Yeah, like I mean, I feel like that's like the big names that you know. She's one of the big names that is always talked about. So I knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
and she's awesome.
I really wish I didn't know. More than any, this is one of the ones where it's probably one of the harder spoilers to avoid at this point in One Piece.
That you didn't know what? That she was.
I really wish I didn't know she was going to be a Straw Hat because
Oh.
that would have just been an amazing. Like I really would have loved that as a reveal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but I don't even care. Guys, I feel totally normal about Nico Robin.
Yes.
I just want you to know.
Very calm.
I just want you to know that.
Yesterday, Adriana bought a wig.
No, what? What are you talking about? That's crazy, Clayton.
When we went through, when I was talking about my favorite Straw Hats, and I omitted a number 3 spot.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Nico Robin, baby.
Wow.
She
Wow,
is.
wow.
It also, I would say, between her and Sanji, it kind of oscillates. Nico is just so cool. I love
Really
her.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
to jump around a bit, we had a lot of great like establishment of Nico Robin in the terms of like for like most of this arc. She's not really present or with the gang or anything.
She
Then
does
she
her
just
own
like
thing.
pops because like everybody failed to figure out anything about the Sky Island, and then she just pops back up on the ship and is like, "Yeah, I know who to fucking talk to."
Yeah, when
Go
she
I
talk
did a
to-
little
said-
shopping.
When she said she was an archaeologist, like I had a moment. I had like I don't know
Me
know
too.
what kind of
Me
moment
fucking
it
too.
was, but like I was like I did like why does this one piece of information hit so hard? It's just so awesome.
When she was carbon dating that skeleton that fell from the sky in the book. It was just so fucking
That
awesome.
was such a fucking cool moment because it was like the combination of just like I love like subtle ways of everybody working well together because Chopper was able to like reconstruct the skull with his like medical knowledge and then that gave Nico everything she needed to do. Oh, it was so cool. I loved that moment. It's such a small moment that I
fucking
loved.
awesome. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This arc, these 2 volumes, first one is both of these volumes, while they are blending together a bit, were great. I really, really, really liked them. We get kind of a little epilogue to Alabasta where we see it recovering at record speed, which is so nice.
Yep.
And we see them finally being free of some big mandate. They're not it's been a while since they haven't like had to save a civilization.
They've been stretched.
Yeah. They're back on their
Yeah.
road trip and they just
Yeah.
like saw pass by a Wendy's and they were like, let's go get some Frosties.
Yeah,
you
and
guys.
that's what this arc is. I
Yeah.
have heard about Skypia. I have heard that it is notorious for being unlawfully skipped by a lot of
Oh,
people.
really?
Yes.
And people-
a lot of people say skip Skype because
Because it's long.
One Piece
and
is such a world
Yeah.
that is also conjoined, and Skypia is in the fucking sky.
it's like
So
a bubble.
It's kind of its own thing, and trust me, like if you're skipping Skypia, like Oda is never not cooking. Like there's stuff in Skypia that you have to see, not just as like this is really good, but like stuff that's important.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Are people skipping these, like what we just read? This we are at the point where they are literally about to get into Skypiea. So this was just like the lead up to that. But if I can't imagine skipping these episodes,
There's
Yeah.
because there's stuff with Blackbeard and Whitebeard and Shanks and and all and the warlords and stuff. I don't think they would.
Are
skip
they?
that.
Are they?
One of those words. Just-
I think they're typically talking about Skypiea itself and not Giant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, like, okay, let the Straw Hats. This is. I can understand where people are like, okay, you guys need to get through the Grand Line.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go on your journey. You have literally the option of skipping Skypiea in their in-universe, and they don't because Luffy's like, this looks cool. I can imagine that people would be annoyed with that. But like, also, why the fuck are you reading One Piece if you don't want them to explore the world of One Piece?
Yeah.
And that moment, like the introduction of Skypiea, the fucking ship falling out of the
Yeah.
sky.
love the map,
Amazing.
too.
So cool.
The godlike giant silhouettes.
That was really that was
Sick.
really cool.
That shit was really sick.
That was really cool.
That was like, I don't know, we get these moments every once in a while where it's like the world of One Piece in one panel gets exploded to this much larger thing.
Yep.
And
that
not
I'm just
only
like,
like the vibe goes like huge, and I don't know, just the ominous. They're all of a sudden like they have these panels where there's just like this huge thing with this like super like that a lot of what was it? That one where they were like lifted up on all the sea monsters or something, or no, it was just a shot of like a bunch of sea monsters and all of their designs. It was just, and I really like those moments. Yeah, I really like where it's just like not all lighthearted, but it's all like it's just ominous is the best word for it. I think.
yeah, because it's like that's like it's not often in One Piece that you get so far that we get shown something that is like that is not something they can fight.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like the introduction to that was. It's just like
Goku could though.
Goku
Just saying.
could.
Or it's also not something. It's also not something that's like. It's kept mysterious. That's why I like it so much. It's like, oh no, we don't have to figure this shit out right now. This is happening, and like it's crazy and cool. And
I love how One Piece just all of it is just Australia. Like it's all just fucked up and weird and dangerous. And there's just corners of it you shouldn't see. It's so good. And this was so fun. Also, anytime you can get the crew just on the ship, sailing at sea is so fun. I'm getting butterflies in my belly right now thinking about it. And that's why I look forward to as much as I love, I've been really loving a lot of the arcs that have been happening with Alabasta and everything. I always look forward to the intermittent time between. Where we get them just sailing because their chemistry is off the fucking charts, and it only gets better with time.
Yeah.
And oh my god, like just even them deep diving to see the wreckage of the ship that had fallen. When you see them pass by sea monsters, it's like I'm reading like cinema. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm reading it.
It's God. I know we've talked about this. I think at different points on the podcast.
Are you serious?
Josh, that's crazy thing to do.
That's a good. It better be a worth it Pepsi.
Josh is trying to establish himself as the wild card of this group by opening a Pepsi.
I opened my
can
Pepsi
and
silently.
interrupting Hayden.
How dare you say that out loud?
Where did you learn something like that?
If you guys can figure out where during the podcast I opened my Pepsi, I'll give you $100. But
I'll never know.
I think we've talked about this before, but like Oda's omittance of certain story moments that is just really like smart and brave. Like there's that whole like when the first monkey guy that they meet him and he comes down and he meets the three of them in the little thing, and then we like cut away and there's some sort of conversation, but like after that, oh god, it's been a second since I read it. Do they kick him into space or do they just like
they kick him off the ship?
No,
yeah.
he beats them, doesn't he? Or he starts.
Talking about Masira or Masira?
Yeah, I don't know, but regardless.
Oh no, the monster comes and eats him,
Mm.
and then they escape. right?
I don't know. There was a
think so,
cutaway
yeah.
from that, and there was also like
Yeah.
an allusion to a conversation that happened there that made them like chill, and it was like.
Yes,
It's always very
yes.
interesting to see like
Yeah.
the conversations that get cut because it's like, oh, we don't like that's a right decision. We don't need to see that conversation. It would slow the pacing. We know how those conversations go, and it's
Yeah.
just small moments like that. It always get me.
I wrote at one point. One, I liked that. Oh, sorry. This is kind of completely tangential. What you're
I was
saying.
done, so
Oh, okay. I agree, Hayden.
thank you. I needed that.
About back to Nico, I like that they established Nico gave
Real
him
quick, I messed up a second. Robin is how she should probably be referred to.
Robin.
Why is that? Why does everyone use Robin, not Nico?
So same thing as Monkey D. Luffy. It's
name,
just
first name.
in like for Japanese people, they use their family name comes first, and then
Oh, that's so her individual name
is
is
Robin.
Robin.
Yes,
In-
and
right.
I'm even thinking that might not even be the case for Robin, but she goes by Robin.
She goes by
Nico.
Robin?
Is her name. She goes by either one, but not Nico.
All right.
Either Nico Robin or Robin.
I've just been an idiot.
I did it a second ago, and I
Uh-huh.
think that's what made other people start doing it. But
Robin has a moment where they explain that Robin was the one that gave Luffy the antidote, which I
Uh-huh.
appreciated.
Yes,
Yep.
I'm so
That he
glad.
didn't just fucking walk it off like he walks everything off. For a specific, he is vulnerable to poisons
Yeah.
and toxins. And then they also established she has a very interesting conversation with King Cobra,
Yeah.
about the poneglyphs, and she kind of
Oh
reveals
my god, that's right. I forgot that happened in this
she
one.
About the true-
lied.
Yeah.
She talked about the true poneglyph. The
You
poneglyph
freaking
did
lied.
have information about Pluton, but she had just prepared to kill him instead of giving that information because
Yep.
she has no interest in seeing islands explode.
Uh-huh.
Because she cares, I guess, about their history.
And she also seemingly, if that's the case, she teamed up with crocodiles, so she seemingly wants something else from these poneglyphs.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
really does. She wants the true history of the true poneglyph. And apparently Cobra alludes to the fact that he's like, wait, can these poneglyphs be weaved together to reveal something? Which I don't know how he got to that, but I guess that's something I should take note of. I'm so interested in that plot line. I'm so interested.
Conversation too.
And she is like on the edge. She's like, I have nothing else to live for. Don't
yeah,
save me.
she's ready to die.
Yeah.
She is okay with
I
dying.
love
and
that
was
she. I love that she just joins the Straw Hats because they just seem like the vibiest
She's
next.
alive and
She's alive, has nothing to do.
Yeah.
She's basically like, hey, I'm alive, and that's your fault, asshole.
Yeah.
That's your fault. And also,
Entertain me.
yeah,
y'all are kind of chill.
which
so
is like so relatable, honestly.
which is like so yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm here with you guys. I don't know.
Adriana was gonna die, and I kind of stopped. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be
Robin is
alive.
already in my top 5 characters.
Yes.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
She's
Robin-
her just sitting there, everybody freaking out. She's
Yeah.
calm in any situation. She's nice to everybody as well.
She's useful. She
She's
wins
useful.
everyone over.
Yeah.
Zoro.
Yep.
Except Zoro, which I love. I love my
Uh-huh.
man Zoro ain't gonna be easily swayed. Everyone else has got their vice. Luffy is an idiot.
Yeah, Sanji didn't have a
Zoro?
chance.
Zoro didn't. Nami didn't have a chance either because she has money.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I like that Nami immediately is like, oh my god, you're
A
another
jewel.
sensible person on this fucking.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
That is a problem though.
Yeah.
In terms of gender expectations,
Yeah.
that is an issue. Individually, though, it is a funny moment. I hope that does not actually I hope that doesn't actually become a purveying vibe on this ship, though.
What do you mean?
That
Where
all
it's
the
like-
women are like the responsible ones. Like it's an overplayed archetype.
I
you know.
I already am not like it's not crazy. It's not I don't know. It's not too noticeable for me
I feel
right
like
now.
Nami is though having the sweet D treatment. Like I think she is slowly
I mean,
going a little.
I really
crazy.
hope so.
I know she looks like she's getting a little more unhinged as time goes on. Like,
Yeah.
she's
She says silly things
she
a lot.
punks-
Oh,
she
yeah.
like gives Usopp a lot of shit, and it's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
There's also a lot of moments where she is ready to seemingly be a terrible person and
Yeah.
Yeah.
extort a princess for $1 billion berries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and she's like
that-
sad. She's like all mopey, like Oh, I couldn't
yeah.
get the big prize.
She's-
That moment, she's like, I guess I'll forgive you, Vivi, for not giving me $1 billion.
I fucking Nami's still.
She's,
absolutely
Yeah.
favorite.
she's so great.
Real quick, we love Robin. We have not talked about Mocktown at all yet, and there's so much
No,
to
we
do
haven't.
there.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Let's get into it.
Mocktown.
This is
fucking
an
rocks,
arc.
dude.
This whole arc, I think, is kind of brought together by... this is about, like, people's dreams. And these are a
Yes.
bunch of fucking hard-ass pirates who don't believe in no Sky Islands, who don't believe in the Straw Hats, who don't believe none of it.
And everyone who fucking says skip Skype, I guess they're just guys. You are like those people,
Oh my
Yeah.
god, so true.
except
God.
they wouldn't know
Genuinely.
because they fucking skipped it.
You're
They're-
like Boney. What's his name?
Bellamy?
Maboni?
Bellamy?
Bellamy.
My
Bellamy.
favorite
You're like Bellamy.
character.
You're-
Bellamy
his
the
name-
hyena.
His name, I cannot get it in my fucking
Bellamy.
head. I
Bellamy
tried
the
it
hyena.
every day. I try to say Bellamy, and I
Peach
can't think of
Bellini.
Well,
it.
it doesn't matter because he's irrelevant.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter because he's dead in the
Dead.
ground.
In the ground.
Clayton illuminated this for me because I was talking to him afterwards. But Luffy got his Shanks moment.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
I loved that, and I loved that I could like see it coming. That I was like, well, I was hoping that would happen, and it
Yeah.
did.
Something I love about One Piece is the pirates.
Them pirates.
And-
them
It's only the
buccaneers.
whole, it's only kind of the whole point. Mocktown was just the vibes were off the charts.
Yeah.
It's just pirates beating up pirates, being pirates, drinking, laughing, fucking. Fuckfest town, Mocktown.
Yeah.
I loved it. I fucking loved it.
What issues were you reading? What chapters?
I read the secret issues.
He like clicked on the ad on the website.
You just know that's what that was happening.
But that's exactly why we get the that's how we get the introduction as well of some pirates who are doing just that. The Blackbeard
The
pirates.
Yes.
Black. I loved how all of them were all four of them were separately introduced and very very briefly, and you're like, oh, these are just some ruffians, but they all were really really dangerous. when we met them,
Yeah.
and it just happens to be Blackbeard's gang.
Blackbeard's introduction. I want to take a moment to just talk about.
Wait, are you
how
thinking of Whitebeard? Because I don't think Blackbeard was introduced, right?
he
Blackbeard was introduced.
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard was introduced. He was.
Whoa.
Did you
Did
you not
Uh-oh.
read
I
the names?
absolutely
at the-
did. I absolutely did.
The guy that was eating the cherry pie with Luffy.
Is Blackbeard?
What? Oh my god! Wait.
Do you not remember?
It
Do you not remember the bottom of like the one of the like last bits when it's like the four of them walking and it's
Yeah.
like nameplate.
Yeah.
One of
I'm
Blackbeard.
telling you, you read too fast, Adriana. I've been
Shut
telling you.
your mouth. Hang on. Okay, I will be honest. I do like. I remember that panel. I remember reading those nameplates. I remember not really caring what they're bound to, or like one of the pieces of information. And at the bottom, I saw the word Blackbeard, but for most of them, it said Blackbeard's pirates, right?
Yeah.
So I might have just lumped all of them in as Blackbeard's crew.
So you thought the big guy with black curly hair, Teach.
was just on Blackbeard's crew.
To be fair, he does not have a beard. So
Yeah.
No,
that
he
makes sense.
doesn't. He's got scrub, which is really funny because
That's-
neither does Whitebeard.
But really quick,
Whitebeard.
before we talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit more, I do want to talk about his introduction
Yeah.
and just really quick, briefly, him just being the opposite Luffy, the
Right.
anti-Luffy.
Uh-huh.
I love that so
Yeah.
much. But yeah.
Well, that is good to know.
Did you notice? Because Clayton had to tell Josh and I both.
Yes.
The other little element about those
His name?
nameplates. Did you read his Blackbeard's actual real
Marshall, of course, the same as I believe the real Blackbeard, Marshall Teach. But there's a little D in the middle of those. Marshall D Teach. Much
You're
like Monkey
kidding.
D Luffy and
You're
Portgas
fucking
D
D
Ace.
Ace and Buggy D Clown.
Buggy D Clown,
Fucking
baby.
joking me right now.
Yeah.
What is this Will of D? What connects these motherfuckers?
It'd be funny if it was
True.
just Dick. That was their middle name is Dick.
Monkey Dick Luffy.
Monkey Dildo
That's
Luffy.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
I love that I'm just finding this
You're
out
just kind of looking
now
at the
in real
pictures. It's
time.
okay.
Also, well, I don't know. This might have something to do with it, but this to me something was alluded to about Luffy's whole deal and about like some chosen one cosmic shit because he ate those apples, right?
Yeah.
And you know, he was lucky, whatever. But the way he said, like, oh, maybe I'm just lucky, or I forget who said it. Maybe he's just lucky. I just got a vibe from that panel where it was like, okay, he's not just lucky, he's like lucky.
What
you know what I mean? That guy was like handing out apples, and he ate one, and it was like
poison apples.
Yeah, it was
yes.
and then one exploded, and Nami was like, "Oh, it could have been that one." Yeah.
And Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard he seems to believe in a thing called fate. Something he
Yes.
quotes. He's like, "Oh well, our boy Latif ain't here. Well, that's fate. We're going sailing." You know?
And that is, you know, everybody in that town is willing to laugh at Luffy's dream, but not Blackbeard. They may be opposites, but they have very similar beliefs.
There was
being
something...
an upstart is so cool. Having Blackbeard, because the Blackbeard like being one of the pirates that everyone's gonna know, and having him just be a fucking guy that nobody knows and doesn't even have a bounty yet.
It is crazy the lengths that Oda plans ahead, because we were hearing about Blackbeard since Drum Island, which feels like a long time ago. Yep. But he likes to keep us going along. There was something that happened whenever after Luffy and Zoro very bravely and very honorably just get their asses kind of beat and don't fight back, they head out with Nami, and Blackbeard, or the unnamed character who we know now as Blackbeard, is like, "You guys are really something. Blah 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 blah. I like you." And he walks away, and then Zoro and Luffy say something really interesting. They're like, "There's two of them." What the fuck were they talking about? I could not understand what they were talking about.
That's the original translation. I'm going to mention this because it might be important to help distinct things, and also because I think it's funny, is Nami goes, "What was with him?" And Luffy and Zoro, I think Luffy goes, "Not him." And Nami's like, "What?" And then Zoro goes, "It's them," which I like because it's like they're like, his pronouns are she. But
oh my god, is that a pronouns thing?
No. It is the same meaning,
they, as in the plural,
as in like
Multiple.
like they say in this translation is. It wasn't just one of them. There were multiple. Okay. And they don't know what. Who knows?
Are
what
we
that
supposed
means.
to? We're not supposed to know yet what the fuck they're talking about.
No.
Nope.
Well, that's annoying, but Oda, I trust you. That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean the rest of Jaya, I mean, it's pretty snappy. We meet the other guy. We talk about some stuff we find out Sanji's from the North Blue.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I don't know why, but that was a cute moment. He's like, "Yeah, I'm from the North
He's
Pole."
like, but more on
He's
that
like,
later.
I actually love this story. He's all smart.
Yeah,
when he got that big ass smile and his eyes get so big
Yeah.
when he's happy. He's a little cutie.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
What?
Fuck you, Clayton.
What? Why? Wait. Oh, sorry. I just stepped on Adriana's toe.
That's a great reaction to that, Adriana. Why do you say that, Adriana?
I feel like I like Sanji.
Yeah.
I have been. There have been moments.
The evidence has been building,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like I can maybe start to diagnose myself with being a Sanji fan.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Man,
There have been moments. There was a moment where after we were reading, me and Adriana were reading together, and Sanji beats up Bon Clay and he walks away, and he's all bloody. And Adriana was like, "Well, he should just keep looking like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good."
Yeah.
that's with a lot of characters, though. Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
it's a slay.
I don't know.
Sanji's from North Blue.
I got some ideas, some things that seemingly were being teased during that. I talked to Clayton a little bit about it, but I got the theory. It felt very much like the way that those panels were written, and when they were talking about the liar guy, the way those panels were drawn had Sanji in the foreground in a very interesting way, and I think that's gonna come back. I really do think that might be.
What your
don't even know what you're
specific
talking
theory
My
was?
specific theory is that is Sanji's relative. Sanji is part of that family, the Mont Blanc family, because it was just the way he
It
was.
is a French name.
It is French. They're all from the North Blue.
Which
You're
is
forgetting
funny.
one major problem with that.
It's just the way that it was drawn. Sanji is like in the foreground.
There's a huge issue with that.
What's that?
Okay. Sanji never lies.
Sanji doesn't have a chestnut on his fucking head, and that is a problem.
That's a good
How do
point.
you know?
Maybe he
Cooked
cuts it off every day.
Maybe he cooked it.
Maybe he cooked his little chestnut. He cuts it off every day. Sanji's cooking.
I do want to make sure we also got some big wide world stuff happened real quick
Yeah.
that I want to check in on. We got to see Shanks
Towards the
again.
end, yeah.
We got
Oh!
to see that
Amazing.
one
And
guy.
Mihawks
and
and-
Hold on.
Mihawk.
Now, shut up. We're going out. I need this done in order. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this in fucking order.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is also if we're gonna skip to the end of this section. Okay, we get to see the sacred land of Mary Joa.
Yeah, Mary Jo.
Mary Joa. Okay, it's sick. Looks awesome, and it's right after Bellamy gets his face smacked into the mud.
You want to see me land a punch?
That was good.
Dude, that shit was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah, so pretty much we get some huge lore. We learn of the 5 elders of the government who all look very interesting. They look like they all come from different backgrounds. One was a samurai, notably. We get they're talking about our boy Shanks, just offhandedly, like if Shanks and Whitebeard, they're like, if they intersect somehow, that's gonna be a disaster. That's gonna have world-shattering consequences.
They specifically allude to Shanks and Whitebeard being connected to or part of the 3 major powers of the sea. They're like, if there was a conflict between some of the 3 major powers, is a line that is said. So implying that they are. If I had asked Clayton, I was like, is that confirming that like Shanks and Whitebeard are the other 2 major powers?
Wasn't Whitebeard
but
a
it just seems like
warlord
they're
of the sea? No.
Whitebeard is not a
don't think
warlord.
so.
Whoa,
no.
he's the strongest man,
the world's
He's
strongest
the
man.
world's strongest man.
but he's
Yeah.
not a warlord
But yeah,
of the sea. And
them
Shanks
being part
still-
of the 3 major powers of the pirate
Well,
world.
we still don't. It's not confirmed what the 3rd major power is it? Because we know it's the government. The 7 warlords is another one.
The 7 warlords are actually part of the government. There's
Yeah.
I wouldn't think too much about the major powers until we have them revealed, because there's
course.
some interesting classifications to each
Oh,
of
wait.
those.
So the 7 warlords are.
7 warlords are technically a government system. That is kind of one power.
So we only know what one of these 3 powers is.
Correct.
kind of, yeah.
Okay. So all right. So,
I wouldn't think too much about it, but this is implying there's these big other factions and powers.
Yeah.
And the 2 of them, Whitebeard and Shanks, are embroiled in that in some way.
That's interesting.
There's gotta be. Yeah. Okay.
So
you said don't worry.
so
don't
these
think
5
about it.
elders, though, they ruled the world essentially.
Yes, the Gorosei.
The Gorosei. Interesting. We see we see 2 characters who I have definitely seen before. We'll talk about a lot.
Oh yeah.
Walk in. 2 of the other warlords we haven't met: Doflamingo,
Don Quixote do Flamingo.
Don Quixote Doflamingo,
Love.
and Bartholomew Kuma
Yes,
with
sir.
with a Bible in his hand.
Haven't
with a
seen
Bible.
that guy. Have seen the flamingo guy in recent
Yeah.
days.
I know
yeah.
from the card game.
I'm very, very excited to learn more about them because immediately in the next chapter, Kuma's just this Hulk, just reading his Bible,
Big boy.
and we have Doflamingo acting a mess.
Yeah.
He
acting a
is. He's
fool.
messy.
He's also
messy.
like force choking somebody.
He
or
has
something.
telekinesis,
Right.
I guess.
but yeah, that's interesting.
But we also thought Nico had or Robin had telekinesis. And apparently
He was
she-
doing something to choke somebody from across the room.
Yes.
We don't know what.
And then someone's like, "Hey, cut that out." One of the vice admirals who was named, and I forgot. And then a secret third. They didn't expect any of the warlords to show up to this meeting. A meeting which we still don't know what that meeting was. Do we know what that meeting was
Yeah.
for?
It was because they were suddenly, after losing Mr. Croc,
Oh, they needed
they
to-
were
needed a
down a
new one.
warlord,
They
and they
needed to
needed a
decide a
new
warlord.
one.
And then we have my man Mihawk.
Dracul
Mihawk. Walk in, and man, when he walks into a room,
yeah.
the world
All
just
the
stops.
ladies
Yeah.
get nervous.
And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause Mihawk, you're amazing, just the way you are.
It means we only are missing 3. We have 3 more warlords to meet.
We know.
correct?
We knew 7 warlords. We know Croc. We know Dofi. We know Kuma. We know
Dofi?
Doflamingo.
Doflamingo, and we know Mihawk. That means there are 3 we don't know of. One of those is gone.
Did you say Kuma?
Yeah.
So Kuma, Croc.
Kuma, Croc.
Doflamingo, Mihawk.
Yeah.
Croc is no longer one, but
Yes.
they haven't replaced him yet.
So there's 3 we don't know, and 1 that needs to still be established.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, also we heard about one way back when we were going to Arlong Park. We heard about someone
There was reference to one of the warlords of the sea, Jinbei.
who apparently Arlong was equals with.
It was part of Arlong's.
Oh, it was part of
Arlong's crew.
Jinbei was part of Arlong's crew?
No,
Arlong was sorry, my bad.
Arlong was part of Jinbei's crew.
Yes.
Right. So very, very interesting stuff. The world building is going off. Mihawk walks in. He's like, I'm just curious about one matter. And then we know it's Luffy.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I like how they offhandedly to the Council of Five just like, oh yeah, and this Luffy guy, he's becoming a real problem. Anyway, and his cheese and ass mug is just like showing up everywhere.
And he finds out he has his bounty now.
Yes, this wonderful little dynamic.
I loved that dramatic irony. Was it dramatic irony?
It was dramatic irony. Yeah. Where we know that Luffy is now a much bigger problem.
But
they're just figuring out. Bellamy's crew's just finding out how big of an issue these guys are. Mm-hmm. At one point, Adriana told me you were like, man, Bellamy's crew is just like, they're just middle school bullies. Yeah, and they really are.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I was like, they got to Mock Town. They just walked into middle school town, basically. Is what that whole vibe
was. Middle school
was.
town, if it was cool.
Yeah,
and it was cool.
Yeah, and getting smacked down. It's just so satisfying after everything he did to Luffy. He's just like such a prick.
Also glad that it was like we got an easy fight. An easy victory after a lot of,
boing,
he's
boing.
back
no
at the
threat
beginning.
whatsoever.
Yeah, totally.
Got hit in the boing loings.
The boing
The
loings.
boing loings. With the boing boing.
Wait, literally. That's funny.
Also, like, Luffy leaves an indent in his face. You can see his four
It's a
knuckles.
fucking slap, dude. It's not a punch. It's a
What?
slap.
He punches him.
He does?
It's a fist. It's like
Head cannon. He slaps him.
all right. He slaps
Bellamy's
him with
gonna
his closed
join
fist.
Buggy's crew. We did see Buggy very
Oh,
briefly.
interesting.
Buggy, my
is
man.
back.
Oh my god, that's right. And
he's
got
better than ever.
He's got his new makeup on, which to me is an equivalent of like dyeing his hair after a breakup. And that I was like, oh, he's going through it.
It was so. Every time Buggy shows up, I'm just like, I'm crying with joy.
Yeah.
I love
I'm not crying,
the
actually.
Buggy Pirates, their unwavering faith in their
Yes.
captain.
Yeah.
And
I
even
love
though
it.
he is, I do also love how, despite Buggy being an idiot, he is so knowledgeable about everything. He's like, oh, we can't fuck with
Whitebeard's crew.
Whitebeard's crew. We can't. Don't
And
fuck with Ace.
Is just there.
Ace just shows up.
And he falls asleep.
Yeah, because I think, isn't it like Buggy's like, we gotta find Luffy.
Yes.
And Ace is like, I know where Luffy is. He
Yeah.
just shows up
Which
out of
does
nowhere.
he? That's interesting because how does he know?
Oh, yeah. I guess he probably just says, I know Luffy.
No, I think he
Right?
says, I know where Luffy is.
I know where Luffy is.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, he found him, and he knew the general direction he was going.
I guess so.
He might have thought he
Maybe
was still in
it's-
Alabasta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knows. He knows that
I
he's
don't
trying to
know.
get the One Piece, and that he's sailing the Grand Line from what?
This is funny.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
Yeah.
He's trying to get the one. What a loser.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, that's what Ace thinks.
Yeah, Hayden's kind of a Bellamy. He's like, you're gonna be king of the pirates, as if.
I do like that we are getting this kind of spiritual arc here where they're going to be challenged about their goals, because so far they've had unwavering faith in their goals, but Nami has this like moment where she's like walking out of there crying like, I guess we're just stupid. I guess we're just stupid little kids.
Yeah.
You know, now that she's in middle school and they're so
That
fucking
really.
mean.
That's why. Yeah. That's why I felt like middle school is like it sucks.
Yeah, and that's too like the way you win that situation is because obviously Bellamy gets smacked in the end, but even when they're leaving that bar, Blackbeard makes sure to like reiterate to Nami, like, hey, your friends won in there. Like, if they fought back, they would have just been, like, kind of disgracing themselves.
Why is Blackbeard awesome? He's supposed to be a bad guy.
Well,
we don't know if he's supposed to be a bad guy.
That's the thing is, obviously he has the same sort of ideals as Luffy in a way, but
he did
maybe
fuck
operates
up,
in some different degrees.
He did fuck up Drum Island to where the bastard monarchy had to leave.
Yeah.
And giving them a chance to establish a new Drum Island, which was actually pretty based.
That is pretty bad. Maybe he's a good guy.
Maybe.
But he has D in his name.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
We'll see.
Ace is seemingly trying to find and kill him.
Yeah.
So who knows?
He's trying to kill Blackbeard, and Whitebeard is there. Whitebeard's got...
Oh, yeah.
Whitebeard.
What do you think of
Whitebeard?
Whitebeard?
He's fucking enormous.
Massive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And he is in recovery.
In recovery or on an IV of some sort. I don't think we learn why.
No.
Or I think there's
No,
even...
no.
I think maybe he's had that height surgery where they add they like break his femurs and add a few inches.
They took a bunch
He's
of
had, like,
people's
12
bones.
of those, yeah.
Yeah, his legs are like pencil thin.
Yeah.
I really want Whitebeard to like pick me up and throw me like in a public pool. You know how
I'm
like your dad
sure
used to do.
you can find a fan
You'd
fiction
be
for
20
that.
feet off the ground.
Yeah.
You'd be 20 feet above the pool.
It'd be so funny. It'd be so fun.
He looks at Whitebeard. Hayden looks at Whitebeard, goes uppies.
Yeah, he's got his nurse baddies around.
Yeah. Taking care of him.
Yeah.
I love the image of them like being like kind of tending to him as a nurse would, but they have to like literally get on like ladders and do like there's like standing on his fucking shoulders and shit. That's not true, but basically.
I also want to know, when we got to Mocktown, there's this beautiful little moment where Luffy and Zoro just hop off the ship. The others are kind of like, we don't know about this place, and they're like, this place looks fun. After the montage of all the different bullshit going on in the town, there's a hierarchy of pirates immediately established, and then we have Nami being like, they're gonna get in trouble, and then we have the original trio again.
Yeah,
having a little day out.
That's nice.
It was very fun.
Zoro
and cute.
and Luffy, to me, I like those moments where it just shows they have this like twin flame. They have like the same like zest for life that, and you could tell
they share a brain cell.
Yeah, they share
because they're
a brain
really
cell.
in their like just looking at them on a surface level, they're so different.
Yeah.
But their brain operates in a very similar way.
Totally.
They're besties,
And I like that.
and they're
They
gonna
are besties.
kiss.
I do like every time Luffy's got to take care of business. Zoro's like, "You need help? You good? You good?
Yeah.
You good, my brother?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Luffy after Mont Blanc gets fucking bullied and bloodied. Luffy's like, all right, I guess I gotta actually show face and kick ass. I guess I'll be back in a couple hours.
Oh, other moment was when they were looking for the Southbird, and there was a spider on, and Usopp was just like, "You guys, it's just a spider." I thought that was so funny.
Random Usopp.
He's not
doesn't
afraid of
have-
spiders.
Yeah.
Of all the things he's afraid of, he has no arachnophobia.
He's afraid of things that can actually hurt. Usopp strikes me as the guy that would be like, it can't do anything to you.
Right.
Spider Wars.
What's happening?
He
Oh,
said,
yeah,
As a kid, I used to play Spider Wars.
That was like literally in Always Sunny, where Charlie just randomly drops like, "Yeah, when we'd play Nightcrawlers," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" Or when we'd crawl
asshole.
around in the sewers as little kids. It's like,
What are you talking
that vibe.
about?
So funny.
Any final thoughts on One Piece before we
Yeah.
blast
They
up to
are
this Sky Island?
Yeah, they are fucking on
they're
that.
there.
It's so awesome. I was such a cliffhanger.
I don't know. We don't know if there's an island there.
They're on
could
that
just be
jet.
about
They
to
might
be
die.
flying.
We don't, but
Guys, I have a feeling we are about to read the last chapter of One Piece.
it sounds. Last thing I want to say about like that was just about a moment was when Nami was like, what are we on, you guys? An ocean. And what do? To an ocean, you navigate it, and who's your navigator? And everyone's like, "You are Nami," and I just love that
She
part.
goes clutch mode. Zoro and everyone's freaking out. They were trying to gain their bearings, and then you just have Zoro and Robin just kind of be like, "All right, well, all right. I guess the ship's going up. All right, well," and they're just standing there. Like I think Zoro has like his hand on his hip. It's awesome.
Zoro is no longer the only member of the Does Not Give a Fuck Club.
Yeah.
There are now two members of the Straw Hat crew who are him.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
for
Robin
sure.
is now also him.
Robin is him.
Also, there were just some covers. I talked about this earlier. There were some chapter covers in this story that were beautiful, as always. But there's one specifically I love so much. It might be my favorite. Where I think I told you about this earlier, Clayton, where we just have Nico, Robin, and Nami and Chopper just at a little. I guess they're a little,
Yeah,
they're a little
that's a
cafe,
good one. That's
and
a
they
good
just
one.
went shopping or whatever, and it's just so atmospheric and beautiful. You know,
Amazing.
chops to Oda for just like going ham on them covers. Such good vibes, lo-fi hip hop level vibes from that. And also, we get a nice little Hachi epilogue there, where he's now selling octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This octopus man is
Why not?
selling octopus.
Well, he's a fish man.
Not a fish boy.
He's not a fish.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. That was
Okay, move
good
on.
volumes.
Yes.
I like that little.
Yeah, let's
What
fucking
fun
get
One
over
Piece.
it. I'm
Yeah.
over it.
Officially creating a new little segment here at the end of, because I think we've been doing it unofficially, but now it is part of the little show of just like a little final non-plot related question,
Yeah.
just a fun way to end
a
the
thought
podcast.
experiment,
Yeah.
if you will.
Last week we did the D&D classes for all the characters. We've done which, real quick, do we want to add Robins on there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Robin would totally be probably a wizard, maybe even a warlock. Actually, she really gives me warlock vibes.
100%.
Jedi.
Good stuff. But yeah,
Oh yeah. Totally.
Adriana, you have a little query here, right, for us to have.
Possibly, yeah. So, like, inspired. Okay, the thought I had was I was gonna bring this up, was that it finally happened for me, where I said whenever I get into something, I could tell that I'm into it if I start like listening to songs and then thinking of characters or whatever, right? Specifically, this one would be like what this character would sing if they all went to a karaoke bar. And it's absolutely Sanji with La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin.
I was like, Sanji would do like some sort of Spanish ballad, like immediately where my mind went.
Live in La Vida Loca. That's my contribution. So I guess if you what do you like if you guys pick a character?
I can
and
imagine
Are we doing
like
this for
tapping.
both?
To, like,
Yes. No, like literally I think that's why I think he is the character that reminded me of Puss in Boots, or at least he does now, because at the end of Shrek 2 they have that little thing. Anyway.
Wait, are we doing this for
No.
JoJo and One Piece?
Yeah, just
You
characters
can
that
just
pop in,
whatever
yeah.
thoughts you have about this character would do this song in karaoke, or I can imagine it that way. That'd be fun.
I think Jotaro's the type of motherfucker to go sing Tequila.
Oh my God,
I was about to say exactly that.
Shut up, because I was gonna say that for Zoro. Shut your fucking mouth. I'm literally
they're doing a
going-
duet.
I'm not kidding. I thought of that like when I thought of the question
Zoro would
earlier.
sing My Way. Are you kidding me?
I think Zoro would get into it a little
Yeah.
bit. Like Jotaro, he's like, I don't want to do too many words, and he's like, tequila. I think Zoro would get a little bit into it. I could see him doing My Way. I
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
For whatever reason, Joseph is giving me a little bit of ABBA vibes.
yeah,
I could
yeah.
see him. I could see him singing a little ABBA.
dancing
Kakyoin is definitely singing Judas by Lady Gaga.
What?
Yeah.
I think Usopp and Luffy would. I don't know even what song. I think
Country
they
Roads.
would. Yeah, something like that. They would just do like a crowd pleaser song, and they would want to do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's so funny.
I feel like
Avdol would sing My Way. My bad.
He would.
He would.
Probably.
I'm trying to think of like. I feel like Nico Robin could also be one of those people who does like a really like deep cut karaoke song that nobody else in the bar really knows, but they are having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Kakyoin would totally sing "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Yes.
I think he would absolutely.
Polnareff would
do
sing Creep by Radiohead.
Oh my God! He'd sing a Weezer song.
100%.
That's
Polnareff
so
would
funny.
sing "Creep" and start to tear up.
Chopper would sing Baby Shark.
Yeah.
That's
what's
so cute.
what's the Fortnite song? Number 1 Victory Royale.
Yeah. Chopper's ass would play Fortnite. He would love Fortnite.
Yes,
Chopper would be
He would
so
be terrible.
good at Fortnite. He'd be so good at Fortnite.
You think so?
He would pop a little gummy and enter his brain point and be like
Papa gummy.
yeah. He would pop a rumble ball.
Oh, I
A
thought you were
rumble
saying like an
ball.
edible.
He would get fucking blasted and play Fortnite.
Next week's question is going to be every
Yeah.
character's drug of choice.
Yeah, no, literally. So yeah, for this segment, if you guys want to come up with like one of these hypothetical questions, and if whoever
Yeah.
has one, yeah.
What would Nami sing?
Something like Gaga or
I was gonna say
like
Madonna or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
I could
Oh, she would
I
sing
could
Weird Al
sing her
Yankovic.
singing something like Miley Cyrus, like
Oh, dude.
Miley
a
Cyrus.
little bit. I don't know,
Kesha?
just another like
Kesha.
fun, just like a
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure.
I could sing her doing Weezer, honestly. I really could.
Okay.
What's the one? Say It Ain't So. I could totally see her singing.
Who's singing a song from a musical? Which
Oh.
character is doing
Oh,
the
Polnareff.
musical?
Polnareff
thing?
is-
Oh yeah.
Polnareff probably.
Polnareff,
yeah.
and then Polnareff's also like Polnareff's the one that goes up like multiple times. Like like every third person is him.
Yeah.
Polnareff is like me when I'm at karaoke. He's just desperately trying to find someone to sing "Suddenly Seymour" with him.
Going back to part
Him
2.
and Sanji would really start. Him and Sanji would get along. Really
Oh,
well.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so too. Yeah. Caesar would do Andrea Bocelli. No. Like, you guys are familiar with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He would like make an evening out of it.
Yeah.
Joseph would
Yeah.
would also sing "Live in La Vida Loca."
Yes, for sure.
I also just realized if you pull Sanji in half, you get Kakyoin and Polnareff.
What?
Cool Sanji is Kakyoin and
Mr.
lame
Prince
Sanji
is
is
Kakyoin.
Polnareff.
Yes.
No, literally, I'm not. Yeah, Mr.
You're so
he
right.
Yeah.
Puts on the glass. They both put on the sunglasses.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
That was very
I'd be
Also,
there. I'd
we
like
need
to be
do-
at that bar.
We
Yeah,
need
for
to
sure.
do tier lists too.
Yeah.
Oh.
wanna-
We'll do some tier
I
lists.
want to do some. I want to
Yeah.
do some serious tier list. When we get to the end of when we get caught up on both of these series, we're totally doing fucking character. Honestly, actually, we
Yeah.
could do for JoJo. We could technically do every part a tier list if we wanted.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
A character tier list.
It would definitely be easier to talk about on here.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want to update your stand ranking or now or later?
I think I'm gonna keep the list going. And I'll try to do it ahead of time from now on, so I can actually update them on the episode.
Yeah.
I'll have these ones for next episode. Just the list is getting long enough that it would take me a
That's
second to
true.
properly place everything.
Yeah.
So I'll be more on top of it in the future, and then at the end we'll post it to our socials, the whole
Yeah.
big list.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then what about Smash or Pass for the other? You said
Smack
pass
for
the
the
outlet.
stands. These are all pass. For
Yeah.
Darby and Mariah, both would be a smash, of course.
Oh, the characters.
Yes.
Uh huh.
How many? I think you said smash to 2 stands,
Uh-huh.
which are
I mean, there's a couple where like they could turn into something cool.
you said. Oh no, for 3.
You said for the lovers, I think. You
and
said
for
Smash.
Geb. For Geb, you said smash.
Yeah.
And
Did you say
duels?
smash for Start Platinum?
Yeah, Star Platinum is an absolute smash. That's a
Okay.
home run.
You don't even know the half of it. Just wait till next episode.
two episodes from now, you don't even know.
What's about to
I'm a
happen?
genius. That's all.
it's
You'll
very
see.
funny.
You
It's
shouldn't have
very
said
funny.
that.
Is there a baseball episode? If there's a baseball episode, I'm gonna blow up. There's gonna be a big
You
hole
like
in the house when y'all
baseball?
get it. No, but an anime baseball episode.
Yeah.
There's one of those for Dragon Ball Super.
There's
and
one
it's
for every
literally
anime.
the best episode of Dragon
There's
Ball
a
Super.
just like there's a beach episode for every
Yeah.
anime. There's a baseball episode for
That-
every anime.
including Twilight.
yeah, there's one for Jujutsu Kaisen as well.
That's the one. I was like, was it Demon
Is
Slayer or
there?
Jujutsu
I
Kaisen
literally
that
don't
had
think I've
one?
ever watched an
Ooh,
anime.
Attack on Titan has a good one.
I didn't.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I don't think I've read or watched a single manga or anime series where there has not been a baseball something. Well, was there one in Mob Psycho?
No. There
That's
was
so, and that's why Mob Psycho
You're
is the best
crazy.
anime ever.
no baseball.
But that's a baseball.
Oh, that's a bit.
Oh, that's
and
a-
with that, Oh, that's
Oh, that's a baseball. You don't get that yet.
You want to set expectations?
Yeah.
Let's
What
set
are we doing in
expectations.
One Piece?
One
What the fuck
Piece,
is going on?
I'm actually really glad because y'all were talking about you love it when the Straw Hats are on a boat and they're hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited. If I remember correctly, y'all are going to be treated to plenty of that next
Fantastic.
week. And the start of a sort of Bazenture in a way. Is it Baventure or Bazenture?
Bazenture, I think.
Bazenture.
Bazenture.
Oh, I don't know.
I was wrong.
Whatever it is, we're getting some fun magical stuff. Skype, I've talked a little
gotta
bit.
be, yeah.
It's like a little bit controversial,
It's the
and we're
Aether
gonna
Moth.
be here for a while, like 5 episodes of the podcast ish.
Oh, wow.
That's
okay.
Maybe 4.
Wait,
I think
that's-
4.
Okay.
For the rest of part 3 and going into part 4.
Yeah.
We're so close to part 4. Hold on. Finish what you were saying.
The end.
Okay, for part 3, this is what I like to call the calm before the storm. So you are about to watch 4 episodes, only 4 episodes of Stardust Crusaders. Trust me, this was the hardest section to pace out. So you're only gonna watch 2 fights. The next one you're gonna watch is really the last, it's kind of it's fun. Then after that,
I think it's gonna be I think I'm gonna like this more than Darby even.
You might.
Whole Horse and Boingo. That's a recipe for gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not. There's no way. Yeah, I think you'll probably like it.
No.
I'm gonna love it.
Okay. Well, I'm really happy though because honestly, past Darby, that's the only arc where I'm like, shit isn't like going down. So I was like worried that was gonna be kind of like a speed bump for you. But it turns out maybe this will be kind of just what you needed before we go into the rest of part 3.
Okay.
I am deliriously excited for every conversation to come from this point on in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You are about to start JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay?
What have I been doing?
You've been doing your homework. That's
Okay.
what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm glad you're liking part 3, and I'm so excited. Guys, everyone listening, okay, all 500 million of you that are listening right now, there are only 3 episodes of Straw Hat Crusaders left where we will actually be talking about Stardust Crusaders.
Mm-hmm.
After that,
Our namesake.
After that, we have to change the name.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. But after that, we're getting in an uncharted territory.
Yep.
So
I'm excited.
yeah, and we will not. I don't think we're going to want to watch I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I think the OVAs will be when we're caught up.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, I don't. I want you to
We'll talk
move.
about that.
I'd like you to move into part.
Once
4.
we're done with part 3, I want part 4 immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The same day.
awesome.
Yeah.
Express shipping.
Guys, what
Yeah.
do you have to say about the next 2 or the next 4 episodes?
It's a good build up to the finale for sure. I think you're
Yeah.
going to be like really itching.
I'm
You're gonna
interested
You're going to be scratching.
to see if some of your opinions change, because I think that these episodes, I was just looking at the ones where you're watching, began a few opinion changes for me.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
About characters?
About
or plot stuff?
characters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
About stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
If Whole Horse is about to not be my favorite character, I miss Cacuine. That's all I'll say. I want him back.
I do too.
I don't know how long it's going to be, but
I really do too. I'm pretty sure these episodes definitely have like post-credit scenes. I think.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, watch out for them.
Yeah.
Sure. With that, anything else we got to say?
No?
Don't think
Cool.
so.
One thing we gotta say.
We love you. Good night.
Bye.